Well, you all, hello. It is Tuesday. Good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. I hope all are safe. So in this particular video, we're going to be having dinner with the Epsteins. And I'm sure you guys are excited about it. So let's say, yeah. Laughing, but very disturbed, because it seems like when you flick on the news or flick through whatever, it's Epstein this, Epstein that. Epstein's all in politics. Epstein's on the news. Epstein is on people's topics as far as what they want to make a video about. But what people aren't understanding, or what they're not giving a damn about, is scientifically this will be a form of distracting and deflecting. So, for instance, I'm going to sit and talk about Epstein, or I'm going to talk about Diddy, but I'm never going to talk about the real issue or the full picture. If we're on the topic of stopping thieves, we can't point the finger at one thief and think that that's going to put an end to theft. Basically what I'm saying. So the reason why I call this a deflection and a distraction is because we can sit around and talk about it, but this particular problem, when it comes to Epstein behaviors or Epstein participations, that's one of those rabbit holes to where you can't just point the finger or expose it without exposing the whole thing. Again, if they do come out and say, all right, it's been confirmed that Trump was most definitely on that jet and most definitely on that island, I can promise you, from here to Mexico, he would not be the only one. So that means once he gets exposed, he's going to have to point the finger at the janitor. He got to point the finger at other politicians. Then they're going to point the finger at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. If you're not ready to take down the whole rabbit hole, it's one of those things. Stop deflecting and stop using distraction, and focus on something that actually makes sense, and focus on something that's actually going to get solved. Because again, this deflection is, to me, this is what's dangerous about people of today. Now, we can sit around and talk about foolishness or watch snuff films all day, but nobody wants to put in the work. If you messy, nosy, distraction-loving so-and-sos, if you put forth the same effort as you are into Diddy's business and the Epstein case and other mess and drama and blood, if you put forth that energy that you put forth towards evil and distraction and deflection, I promise you the world will change overnight. Because this is called having your priorities effed up. What's more important, the Epstein file that nobody's ever going to get to the bottom of, or getting your shit together and not being dependent on the government, not being prepared to be destroyed come 2026? Because the same people that's worried about the Epsteins are going to be the ones crying, dying, and looting and acting a fool, or probably even killing over food that hasn't even went into scarcity yet. So it's one of those things where, again, you guys have time to be in other people's business as far as mess. You got time to be twisted up in other people's mess, but you don't have time to get your own mess together and focus on things that are more important. The stuff that's on the news, the shit that goes viral these days, have zero nutritional value. The stuff that does have nutritional value is being shadow banned, murdered, whatever the case, it's being buried alive. The shit that actually makes sense, the stuff that can save your life and give you a chance for a brighter tomorrow, that ain't nobody stunting that. But chaos, mess, destruction, blood, foolishness, seems like y'all love it. So with that being said, I'm asking you, just out of concern, to steer away and turn from your distractions and your deflections. Because again, if I'm focused on what Diddy and Epstein is doing, that's clearly a distraction and a deflection. I'm clearly deflecting because I'm sure I got my own skeletons to be worried about while I'm worried about what's going on with Epstein or Diddy. You see what I'm saying? I'm worried about somebody else's mess. And that's why I'm deflecting. Because again, everybody who I know in person, from afar, on the news and everywhere else, can sit down and talk about foolishness that they know will not be getting solved. Because if it is, that's what's bothering me, because for a long time they've been talking about Epstein. If you know something that needs to be exposed, or if you know something that if they really have this hardcore evidence, what the hell is the holdup other than distraction? If you got something, especially if it's illegal, if I'm a drug lord, or if I'm murdering and then selling drugs and it's really illegal to where the government is involved, to where the president might be in on it, that's one of those things you don't hold on to it for distraction. You expose it right then and there. They only keep you doing it because that's to keep you distracted, because they know y'all love mess They've been carrying on with this story for years, and it's going to continue to carry on for years, because that's one of those rabbit holes that you can't name one name without going down that whole book of names, you know. That's why they're pointing the finger. No, it was him. No, it was her. No, yeah, they're going back and forth because they don't plan on releasing those names. Again, if it's something where it's a true exposure, you're not waiting for permission, you're going to put it on blast. Especially if there's victims and witnesses and people who got names and numbers. What the hell are you holding on to it for if it's not for exploitation or deflection or distraction? Now, if I'm saying, but again, they know y'all love mess so bad to where y'all will stop dying to get to the bottom of somebody's mess. This is how y'all are some dangerous MFs. Very freaking dangerous. People like that are dangerous. The average person these days are very dangerous because their priorities are effed up. You can sit around all day talking about mess and getting twisted up and distracted into mess, but nobody's distracted or addicted to getting their shits together and becoming more independent to where when that next shutdown come, to where your ass is going to get rolled up in a rug, to say the least. Most of those people who's going to end up getting rolled up in the rugs in 2026 are the same people who are okay with distraction, deflection, and chaos. They're okay with it because that's what they prefer. They prefer to be distracted, and they prefer to deflect. So therefore, they don't have to take any responsibility. They don't have to put in the work. They can sit on their lazy asses talking about nothing all fucking day. That's called having your priorities effed up. So if your priorities effed up, you're not going to last very long in 2026. Can I say things supposed to be getting worse? At a time such as this, you shouldn't be caught up in mess. You should be worried about, okay, how can I not kill people over toilet paper? How can I not kill people over food stamps? But no, people ain't focused on that. They're focused on Epstein, Diddy, and other foolishness that gives them no nutritional value, no survival skills. So if there's any hope for you, if you got any soul left in you, because I know most of y'all are lost due to a sick delusion. If there's any soul in you, I would say you use that energy to gain independence. Don't use that energy to be focused on deflection and distraction.